Hey there, my name is Kenneth, and you are watching my solo Dungeons & Dragons adventure with Ming Zao. So, right now, Ming is in a port kind of city in the mountains called Soldera. Now there he has met his long friend Karvok, who is a traveling merchant of sorts. And him and Karvok meet, and Karvok introduces him to his nephew, Modig Soldat. Karvok tells him, hey, he's a jerk, just so you know, and it's true. Modig agrees to help Ming liberate the village from the living dead, as long as he can pass a test of strength, a sparring match, to first blood, basically. And Ming does best him. And so, whenever he does this, Modig says he'll help him based on his honor as a soldier. And then he goes and actually gets help from 10 other soldiers that he trusts. So now all 12 of them, and 13, including Karvok, are now heading towards the village. Now, before we do that, I wanted to show you and kind of talk about the fate system, the Mythic GM emulator system that I'm using, especially it uses like the fate chart and other things. But I want to talk about how scenes are set up and resolved. Now, normally when you're playing this system, the first thing you have to do is set up a scene when you start. So here's kind of the image that you'll see normally whenever you are setting up. So we're going to label this scene 6, because it is the 6th scene in the cycle of what we're doing right now. Now, the scene setup has to be something where we are talking about what's the point of the scene? What's the beginning? What's our thread that we're going to be playing with? So, with help, Ming and company are going back to the village to liberate it. All right. So, time has come to finally go back to the village and handle the Walking Dead situation there. Now, over here on the other side, we have our threads area. And so we have got help for the village. So therefore, we can cross that thread out. Now, of course, there's still other threads that we're playing with. Obviously, we're trying to save the village, and then we're trying to save Leah. Remember, it's the girl that Ming is a little bit sweet on. So everything is going according to that last scene. Everything kind of went according to plan. Nothing was too out of control. Now, we did have our random events that were moving away from a thread. And so looking back, I realized I kind of messed that up. Full stop. I kind of messed that up. That's okay. It's going to happen sometimes. And so obviously don't cheat. Don't ignore it if you don't like it. That was just me messing up for my own that was just me messing up, and it's kind of too late now. So in the future, I'll do better at making sure that I'm, following the thread, following the fate chart as it comes up. I need to do better on that. So we're heading back to the village now. Hey. So with that said, we have our scene set up. We have our chaos factor. Everything went fine. Everything went fine last time, pretty much according to plan. Nothing was too out of control. So we're gonna go down 1 chaos factor. So now we're at 4. So remember, at the beginning of every scene, we roll a d10 against chaos, meaning we're trying to figure out, is this scene going to play out like we think it will, or is it going to be changed or even worse, interrupted? Evens is an interrupt, odds is an altered. If you get below 4 or below, 5 or higher, it happens the way we think it should. All right, here we go. Okay, 3, that's an odd number, it's below 4. That means it's an altered scene. Now, altered scenes, right? We just use logic to figure out how it was altered. We can use the fate chart to help us figure things out, but it's going to happen similarly to what we think it should, but it's going to change, a little bit. So we can use the fate chart if we want, or we can just use logic. So we're going to the village, and it has to be altered somehow. Nothing really. Okay. Well, that begs the question. Has some of the zombies started coming this way, right? That's what I'm thinking, maybe they get tired of kind of clawing out the doors, and some of the horde has come this way. Has that happened? So we'll do the fate chart, chaos 4. I think it's somewhat likely. that this has happened. That yes, some of the zombies have come this way. So let's roll that. We have a 75, which is a no. No, they have not. So the zombies haven't come this way. So how has it been altered in some way? We're going to resort to the chart that lets us find a random event. We're going to resort to those chart words to help us maybe figure out what's going on. Remember, part of this game is where you don't always know what's going to happen, and that's kind of the fun part. So, event focus. That's 17. NPC action, so an NPC is doing something. Okay, and then so we got event action 9. That's malice. Okay, and then our subject 52, malice and dispute. Malice and dispute. I think here's what's happening is as we're traveling to the village, Ming, of course, is so focused on what's happening. You know, Ming has no idea of the internal workings of the militia, the merchant militia army. No idea of what's going through their ranks. I can imagine that many feel frustrated that Modig is treated so favorably by the captain. Maybe there is a bit of jealousy growing in them, maybe even to the point of treachery or malice. And so we have malice and dispute. There's definitely going to be a dispute. So as Ming is walking and he hears the guys behind him, he senses a shift in the air. In fact, I'm going to roll an insight check. Let's do an insight check. 10 plus, I failed it. All right. He's so focused on, he does feel a change in the air, but he thinks it's all about going forward to the village. The change in the air, though, is actually the men that Modig had brought with him. Men that he normally could trust. And so there is a moment of silence, and then an unsheathing of a sword, and then another unsheathing of a sword. And then Ming is going to hear that and turn around to see just in time to see two men who are behind most of the others running forward to attack Modig. Now, Ming sees this. Modig doesn't. Modig's completely unaware. And so we got to figure something out. We got to figure out what we can do. Ming doesn't really want to get involved with this, of course, but it's still important. He's within 15 feet away. Definitely can get there in time. So yeah, Ming is going to use a flurry of blows, so a key attack. So he's going to run up and attack one of their blades away, purposely going for the blade. So we'll say that it's going to be so armor class 16, purposely going for the blade. We'll put armor class 17 then. And so does the first one hit the blade away? No, it does not. He misses that first one. Then flurry of blows he misses it, but he's going to try and push two of them away anyway. And yeah, he misses both. Yeah, oh geez. So Ming sees the two men running forward with swords, and he runs forward with his quarterstaff and tries to block one of them, but he totally misses. The guy kind of pushes him out of the way and just brings his sword down and bounces. And does it hit? Well, yeah. Do they hit his armor? No, not one and not one. Nice. All right. So that guy will drop his sword. Well, no. Does he drop his sword? 90. No, that's 95. That's going to be a no matter what range I choose. So in this almost happens instantaneously. It's so quick. Ming turns around, sees these two running forward to attack Modig, runs forward. Modig sees Ming run forward, like thinking that he's about to be attacked. But when Ming tries to block away and misses, and Modig feels one of the swords bounce off the armor in his back, he turns around just in time to parry the other blade of the other would-be attacker as Ming is trying furiously to try and block him off. Everyone kind of separates. There's a tense moment, and Modig is furious. You dare attack me! Why? He's so angry. He can barely contain his anger. What are you doing? One of the men that attacked him says, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. You have not been with us near as long as some of us have been here for decades, and you're already above us in rank. The captain shows you favorability. Sorry, monk. We know you have nothing to do with this. This is an internal dispute. And of course, Ming is kind of slowly backing up, like, he's got a point. He's very much got a point. But Modig did agree to help him, right? Ming often doesn't want to get involved in the affairs of others, especially when the bad stuff is happening. But Modig did agree to help. So I'm going to roll against the fate chart. Is Ming going to be willing to help? I honestly, it's cash rank 4. I honestly think it's unlikely. I really honestly think it's unlikely that Ming is going to help. So will he help? 63. Yeah, it's going to be a no. So Ming is going to take a step back, and he's going to wait and see right now. As the two are, the two men are kind of posturing their swords a little bit, and then, so Modig has this huge sword drawn, and he's, come on then, come on, let's do this, let's go. And he's pumped up, he's ready. Now the other eight men are all just kind of like, they're completely caught off guard. And so Ming is knowing that time is of the essence. They don't have time for this kind of thing. Whatever their internal disputes, we've got to go forward, right? This is important. And so I think Ming's going to make a check. He's going to make a check. He's probably going to make, he's going to make a persuasion check to the other 8 men that are around him. He's basically going to say, are you going to let him hurt the lieutenant? Are you going to let them do that? Do you feel the same way as them? Stop them. So let's see if he can help and do this. So 10 plus 4 equals 14. And they're a little shaken, so they're a bit more susceptible to that. So we'll do -1. So 13's the DC. And 5 plus 3 equals 8. That doesn't work. So Ming's gonna try his best to convince them, but they're gonna wait. They've also taken the stance of wait and see. We're just gonna wait and see. So to speed things along, and I don't want to do a full combat with Modig, does Modig best them in combat? I think it's very likely. He's just going to wipe the floor with these guys. And so let's roll against Chaos. Does he beat them? 27, very likely. Yes, he does. He handily beats them, best in combat. It's not even a real fight. They go at once. He does a sweeping, cuts one of them their heads clean off. The other, he turns around and he's backing up like, wait, I'm sorry. And he just says, no. Brings it down like this and pulls the blade out. The guy falls down in a heap, blood going all over the grass. There's a silence, and he says, anyone else? Anyone else want to take a shot? And all the others go, good. We continue. We have a job to do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Now I'll get back in line and get back in rank. Now Ming is a little off-put by this. He goes up to Modig. I'm not one to get involved with things that aren't my problem, but did you have to kill that last one? He did say he was sorry. He looked like he wasn't going to fight anymore. I show no mercy in combat. They were the ones to draw blades first. You saw that yourself. Well, yeah, I did, but it just seems excessive, Do you want me to show mercy to the living dead that are besieging this village that we're going to? Do you want me to show them mercy? Of course not. Then let me do things my way. Back off. Understood. Yes. Thank you for your help again. Let's continue. We're running out of time. This was a detour we did not have time to make. Of course. So as they're walking, Ming again just can't get out of his head. He's got to ask, what was that about? Why did they attack? I mean, yeah, I can agree, disagreeing, sure, but attacking you? It seems too much. Surely they know your strength. Obviously, why would they even try? Modig kind of looks back at the men and says more quietly under his breath, I suspect there are others who would like to do the same, but they were the only ones that were brave enough to put their blades where their mouths were. But again, can't they just join another unit or do something? Do they have to kill you? You're a monk. You have divorced yourself from the concerns of the world. You have no understanding of what's going on. Don't presume to. Well said. I don't care, to be honest. It seems harsh, unreasonable. Seems sad, too, to live such a life. You look like you have lived a tough life as well. I see the scar. Yes, my master can be an uncompromising and tough bastard, to be honest. But he's a good master. He's taught me a lot. I can tell. You bested me in a test of strength. I know that your combat abilities are at least at par. Maybe not better than my own, but still at par. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Are you going to be okay? I'm a soldier! Of course I'll be fine. I'll be more than fine. I live for the thrill of battle, whether it be from someone I counted as a friend or an enemy that I don't know. Battle is battle, and I enjoy it nonetheless. Will Ming realize, will he notice that little downturn like that? Let's do a perception check. And we'll say 10, chaos rank 4, plus 2, 16, or actually, sorry, minus 1, 15. Yeah, let's do that. So minus 1, 13, my bad. DC 13? Yeah, he does. So Ming's definitely going to notice that little downcast moment and then back up. But I think Ming's going to just hold that to himself. I think he recognizes that Modig is having a moment and he doesn't want to pry too much. Again, Ming's kind of ideals, what he truly understands, what he truly thinks about doing. He doesn't want to get into the affairs of others. And so we definitely want to make sure that Ming's going to, even though he notices it, he's going to not pry about it for sure. All right, so we'll say nothing else really happens on the way there. Again, before we get there, let's consult the fate chart. Are we going to see zombies on the road? That would definitely hold us up even longer. So are we going to see zombies on the road? I think we would. I think that's somewhat likely. I think that we would be seeing zombies coming this way from the village. Surely not all of them are just going to stick by. So let's see. 9, but an exceptional yes. So we are going to see some zombies on the way. So now that we know that the zombies are coming this way for sure, what I can imagine happening is Ming and his company are going around a bend. This is the last bend to get to the village. From here, it's just one big downhill slope until you get to the village in a small little valley. And when they come around the bend, they see coming up the trail just a line of undead. Now, they can see the village off in the distance, and they can see that around the walls of the village, yes, there's still zombies. They can make them out from this distance, but there's still a large line coming up the path. And so, obviously, this is something that's not going to be contained to the village unless it's dealt with here. It needs to be dealt with here before it spreads. And so Ming is like, and he's like, Modig says, hey, calm down. Calm. All right, man, prepare your weapons. We're going to charge down the hill. Take as many of them as you can on the way down. Now, young monk, stay close. Sure. Everybody ready? Let's do this. So they're going to charge down the hill. I love it. So the question is, I think it's very likely, no, it's not very likely, it's likely they're going to be fine. Nobody's going to hurt. But are they going to make it down the hill without any casualties? That's the question. Are they going to? I think it's likely. So chaos rank 4 likely. That is a 16, which is a yes. Not an exceptional yes, but a yes. So they do make it down the hill without any casualties. Everybody survives. And then we'll roll a d20, and the higher it is, the more zombies. The higher it is, the less zombies are there. The lower it is, the more zombies are left after the charge. 19, nice. So that means that most of the zombies have been taken out with a couple stragglers here and there. You know, we can worry about them later. So they come down the hill charging. Rah! You know, their swords are slashing and slashing and slashing through the horde. The horde starts kind of pulsing forward, but that's just not enough. The momentum is with the soldiers, and they're just cutting, just mowing through the horde. Ming is keeping up with the charge. He's not really doing anything because he didn't have a blade. Occasionally he'll smack one with his quarterstaff, but really he's just gonna let them do the work. He's gonna let them do the work. He's done his job. He's got help. We're going to save Leah, baby. All right. So we get down to the bottom of the hill. You know, they break through, and then finally the zombies kind of push back. They kind of pushed back a little bit. At this point, most of the zombies left in the walls. There's maybe like, instead of it being 3 or 4 layers deep like it was before, now it's maybe like 1 or 2. So about half the zombies have been taken care of. At that point, the one of the soldiers pulls out a horn and blows it. Right, he's blowing his horn, and then from inside the walls, you see guardsmen who kind of peek their head over the walls. They're all like, yeah, waving their bows like this, yeah, like this, all this kind of stuff. And then you hear a cheer start to raise from inside. And you hear another horn from inside as an answer. And then you hear it, kind of the bell that's inside the village. And you see the gates burst open, and out come the guard garrison. Finally, like the battle has begun in earnest. Now, Ming quickly can tell that, in combination with the merchant soldiers and with the guards inside, they can handle the rest. Before it was too much, but now that they've thinned the herd out and drawn some away and killed them in the charge, it looks like it's going to be okay. They're going to handle the stragglers. So Ming's going to navigate through the battle. He's going to find Leah. He's concerned about Leah. So remember, we know this. Ming doesn't, but we know this. Leah was concealing the fact that she had been bit by a zombie in kind of the chaos of getting everybody inside. That's a problem. So let's do an investigation check on Ming's behalf. So it's going to be 10 plus chaos rank 4 plus another, no, we'll keep it at 4. 10 plus 4, so in the chaos of the battle. So 14 is the DC. He does make it by 1, so 15. He goes around searching for people. Obviously, most of the people are staying inside because of the fighting. And so he makes it in the gates, and he goes to the temple where he last saw Leah. And he goes inside, and a bunch of people are happy to see him, but he looks around for Leah, and he just can't find her. And he asks a couple of people, "Where's Leah? Where's Leah? Where did she go?" And nobody really knows. Nobody can find her. So then he goes outside again. By this point, he can hear the sounds of battle starting to die out outside. The soldiers made quick work of this. This was no problem whatsoever. And so now he's trying to figure out what's going on. So here's the question: is he going to find Leah alive? That's the question. Is he going to find Leah alive? I think it's 50-50. I don't think either one makes sense. So 50-50. That is a 2. That's an exceptional yes. So he definitely finds her alive. Definitely alive. And not only alive, but we'll say he goes towards her house, and as he's walking in, he sees her running to him. And, well, running, but she's not looking too well. And so whenever he kind of falls, and he grabs her and holds her up and says, "My goodness, you're burning up. Are you okay?" And she goes, I don't feel so well. Well, let's get you to your house. So he kind of picks her up and carries her back to her house. He lays her in bed and puts the covers on top of her. He holds her breath, and he holds his hand to her forehead, and she is on fire. Like it's a serious fever. He says, "Stay here. I'm going to go get a doctor. I'll be right back." And she kind of reaches up and grabs his hand and says, "There's no need. There's no need." And Ming's going to put 2 and 2 together. Let's do an intelligence check for Ming. DC 14 plus 1, 15. He's still not quite getting it. He's only got a 10 for a score. He's still not quite getting it. And she says, "Please, sit." And Ming is going to sit down at the stool next to the bed. She's going to roll up her sleeve and reveal a nasty looking infected thing, a mass of flesh and pus that's just swollen beyond what it can be right now. And he's going to, when did you get bit? When did you get bit? I didn't see it. I would have helped. It's okay. They didn't tell you because they didn't want you to worry about me. Worry about you? I could have saved you, but it's completely infected now. Yeah. Yes, it is. Ming, I don't think I'm going to make it. No. I'm going to get a doctor right now. There's nothing they can do, Ming. I feel so weak. I need to apologize. For what? I didn't tell you the truth. When you said you wanted to leave, I should have told you I didn't want you to go. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, you need to rest. I have to go get a doctor. I can't lose you. I'm not ready for Leah. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I'll be fine. At this point, she starts coughing a little bit. Blood's kind of coming out of her mouth a little bit. You can see her. She's starting to lurch a little bit. Whatever the fever is doing to her, it's taking its toll very badly. She's not gonna have much longer. Ming is, what do I do? And he's trained in medicine, triage medicine from his time in the monastery. Setting broken bones, combat injuries, nothing like this. And so he starts freaking out, but still he is proficient in medicine. And so let's make a medicine check. A 10, chaos rank 14, and then also we're gonna add 2 because he's stressed. So DC 16, and that's a 15, so shy of what it needs to be. And so he's so stressed and confused, he doesn't really know what he should be doing or if anything should be happening, and he doesn't know. So here's a question for the fate chart. Is it possible for Leah to recover from this disease? I think it's very unlikely. I think it's very unlikely that she will. So chaos rank 4, very unlikely. 26, and that is a no. So she will not be recovering from this bite. This is going to be sad, but she's going to die. And at this point, Ming understands that as well. He wanted to save her more than the village, and couldn't couldn't quite do it. He did spend a lot of time out. He probably, if he had been back sooner, right? If he had not spent so much time doing other things, he probably could have been back sooner and helped her and would have seen the infection sooner to be able to help. And so he's holding her hand and trying to make her feel comfortable, but obviously she knows it, he knows it, that he's the one he's freaking out about this. Finally, Leah reaches into her shirt and pulls out a ring on a necklace and takes it off and holds it out and says, I want you to have this. It belonged to my father. He would have wanted you to have it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And so she starts crying now too. Ming takes the ring and holds her hand with it and says, Leah, it is against the code of my order to say this, but I wanted to live with you. I wanted to be with you. I was going to change the code of my order to allow love like I feel for you. I love you, Leah. And in that moment, Leah, with her last breath, and she's going to fade away. Life is going to slowly drain out of her body. Her limbs are going to go limp. She's going to breathe her last. And Ming is going to start wailing, crying. The woman he loves, or the woman he has grown to love and is growing up at the monastery, the woman who he's met her family, has grown up going to the village to see her and her alone, even though he knew he shouldn't have. He loses her. It's a sad day. He saved the village, but not the woman he loved. So Ming has started his adventure out in the real world away from the monastery on a very bittersweet note. And with that, we'll end this session. Thanks so much for watching. I know that's a really sad and depressing way to end this episode, but hey, such is the way that things work out in this kind of game. So thanks so much for watching. Again, I don't even know if you like this or not, and honestly, I don't care. I'm just doing this for me and having fun for me. But still, if you do like it, feel free to comment down below. Things I could do to make it better, things that you think I'm doing wrong. Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Thanks.